Hello. Yes, it works. If you were to ask my parents where I was on any given night, they would likely say, Alexis is in bed, or she's doing homework. Parents are, of course, the most deluded about what their children do. If I were a Pokemon, I would be a Snorlax, because I love to sleep. For a while, I said that nobody loves to sleep more than I love to sleep, which is why when I had gotten home from school that day, I went straight to bed. I woke up about 7 hours later with a deepening dread, and my suspicions were confirmed when I looked down and I was covered in blood. My period is like a waterfall. It is nothing like the drizzle of blood that I had been told about. And everyone has moments in their lives where they feel that life has a personal vendetta against them. Mine did not start until I looked through my cabinets and found that I did not have any pads. I went to my mom's bedroom and I knocked on the door. Yeah, that's my knock. And she did not answer. And I went inside and I tapped her on the shoulder and she said, Ugh. So I tapped her again. Ugh. So I used to say, nobody loves to sleep more than I love to sleep, but I had to amend that to read, nobody loves to sleep more than I love to sleep, except for my mom. But I still needed to get pads. So I went downstairs and I put my jacket and my boots on and I went outside to the shed where I knew that the bikes were kept, and I thought, screw my mom. So I took her bike instead of my bike, which was a cruiser, and it was nice and I liked it more. And so I biked to the store, and it was nice, and it was downhill, and I realized when I got there that I had not properly thought this through. I didn't have a bike lock, so I took it in with me, and I went to the register, and the lady looked at me strangely, and I saw what she saw, and I left as soon as possible after I paid for my pads. And because the way there was downhill, the way back was uphill. And it became apparent after a while that I was not moving while I was pedaling. And this is because the bike did not have any tread, basically. And so I stopped pedaling altogether, and I squeezed the handlebars as if there would be brakes there. There were not brakes there. And I realized only after I was falling down the hill, thunk, 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 that it was not that type of bicycle. And I was in this heap of dust and blood and disgusting. And when I got back onto my bike, I was having the same problem, but for different reasons. I was pedaling my bicycle and it was not moving, but it was not because my bicycle did not have tread. It was because my bicycle was broken. The chain that connects the pedals to the wheels and moves your bicycle forward had fallen off while I was falling. And so I carried this broken bicycle with me back home, and I hid it behind the shed, so hoping that nobody would find it. And I covered it in dust, and I covered it in leaves that I found. And I went upstairs to my room, and I fell asleep. And the next day, I got home from school, and I did not fall asleep. I did not wake up finding myself covered in blood. I did not go and sneak out in the middle of the night to get pads, and I did not break my bicycle. I went and I sat at the kitchen table and I read, and my mom comes up to me and she says, "Do you want to go on a bike ride?"